We have shit for poor people. Who buys our shit? So healthy. Now that I know what the in it, even in a can of soup, I look at it. Look at me, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
So, have y'all heard about this stuff that the executive from Campbell Soup got caught? Is always someone that's getting caught that's being recorded privately that has no idea. They're having a private conversation being recorded. It's always something like this. And honestly, I'm not really that surprised by the comments. I'm surprised by how we found out, but I'm not really surprised by the comments itself. This story is absolutely crazy.
So tonight, new and intense scrutiny for a top exec at Campbell's Soup who's accused of saying some pretty wild stuff, like that the meat in the soup is bioengineered from a 3D printer, and allegedly going on an offensive and in some case racist rant. It's all because a former employee who's suing the company says he secretly recorded Campbell's VP and Chief Information Security Officer Martin Bally during what that worker describes as an hour-long tirade.
That's crazy.
We've got the recording, and we want to warn you here, it's pretty harsh. Listen.
All right, real quick before I play this, I'm sure everyone has had Campbell soup or any other kind of canned soup or whatever. Have y'all ever really just take like a close look at the meat? Have y'all ever really just looked at the meat? Am I the only one that's looked at the meat and just kind of wonder, like, what is this? Is this really chicken? I've always wanted that. I've never had any proof, so I kind of just like, oh, maybe I'm just overthinking it. Maybe I'm just, I mean, what do I know? But I've always wanted to, like, what is this? This real food?
We have shit for poor people. Who buys our shit? So healthy. Now that I know what the in it, even in a can of soup, I look at it. Look at me, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
In the lawsuit, the former employee also alleges Bally made racist remarks about Indian workers, calling them idiots. When he reported the tirade to company management, he was terminated in retaliation, allegedly, for complaining about that alleged behavior. Campbell's has not confirmed the statements to NBC, but did say that if they were made, they do not reflect the company's values. NBC News also reached out to Bally, but haven't heard back. Let's bring in Camila Bernal. Camila, this is just what we played is just a little bit of this, right? There's more to these allegations?
There's many more of these allegations, and I also read through the lawsuit, Hallie, and what this former employee says is that this all happened over a conversation about his salary. He says they sat down about a year ago to talk through all of these things, and that's when he began speaking badly about the company, saying things like this was processed food and saying this was for poor people, as you heard there on that recording. And like you mentioned, this goes on for a while, and I want you to listen to more of that conversation.
Everybody thinks our recipes are like crown jewels or not. They're important, but no, it's the process. It's the process that makes the food. You know, the ingredients are in the back of the can.
So not only does he talk about the food, but this lawsuit also alleges that this VP went on to talk about employees at the company, and the lawsuit alleges that they're racist comments. Take a listen to those comments.
They couldn't figure out dumb.
So clearly there was no filter during this conversation.
This dude was wildin'. What?
The former employee also alleges that the executive admitted to going to the office high on edibles. I mean, again, this goes on and on about a number of different things here. And apparently the former employee reported all of this to his manager. He said,
All right, y'all, look at that. Does that look like real chicken? Come on. Come on. I know every time we get sick, they tell us to have a can or a bowl of chicken noodle soup, right? That used to be my go-to thing, especially as a kid, right? And I believe that really helped. But I used to always look at the noodles, not necessarily the noodles, but especially the chicken, and be like, is this real chicken? Like, I've just always wondered that. Like I said, I thought that maybe I was just overthinking it. Like I don't know. I'm just a kid. I'm just a college student. I don't really know. You telling me it's chicken, so I believe it's chicken. But at the same time, I didn't really believe it. I was like, what part of the chicken is this? The breast? Like what is this? Why does a chicken in this can of soup look so much different than just regular chicken? But I don't know. And now to find out all these years later that I was right the whole time, that I know 3D printed food and everything like is a thing, and it's like gonna be making its waves pretty soon. I didn't know it was like already here, this mass produced already.
That
So that's
some
brand
time
new.
went on and he wasn't encouraged to go to HR. And so he got fired. And what he's saying now is that he believes his firing was retaliation for him coming forward and speaking out about all of this, Hallie.
Camila, we talked a little bit about some of what we heard from Campbell's on these alleged comments here. What else is this former employee, this former worker saying?
Well, first of all, I want to go back to what Campbell's is saying, because what they're saying is that they use 100% chicken. They say it's USDA approved. They go over the list and essentially say
Right. Yeah, real chicken.
that all of this that this current employee said was false. They also, I want to note,
Right.
have this employee on leave while they investigate all of this. So he has not been fired yet, but he is on leave. And I want to read part of the statement that Campbell's put out where they say we are proud of the food that we make, the people who make it, and the high quality ingredients that we use. We know that millions of people use Campbell's products, and we are honored by the trust they put in us. The comments made about our food are completely inaccurate and absurd. So again,
I ain't gonna lie, I don't believe him. I don't believe the people that made the statement. This sounds like just a PR cleanup. This statement. You think the dude one that was privately recorded as prejudiced as he is and everything, y'all think that he just saying that just to say it? I don't believe that. I believe that he was telling the truth and he didn't know he was recorded. That's what I believe. Of course, everything is alleged, so we don't know at this point. But that's what I believe. I believe that he was telling the truth. He didn't know he was recorded. I don't believe this statement. Okay, I don't believe this statement. You think he? So if that's the case, where did he get these ideas? If it was his first day on the job, and he just heard rumors from people that worked at the company he didn't know, like he was just like brand new to the company, that would be one thing. This dude is a VP. Okay. So he's been at the company for a long time, probably has worked his way up as a VP and executive. And you're telling me he just pulled this out the sky, at the blue sky? This doesn't make any sense. Where did he even get the idea of 3D printed food and to say, look at the ingredients that is on the back of the label? Like, look at that. Where did he get this from? And so now you're telling me that all that is he just made that up out of nowhere? Yeah, that don't sound right, buddy.
They also emphasize that the employee who made these comments, the vice president, works in cybersecurity in IT. And so they say he has nothing to do with the making of the actual food. On the other hand, you have this former employee who, of course, is suing, but who also says that essentially this was extremely emotional and really damaging for him, not just emotionally, but financially as well. Talks about being embarrassed and just being put out on the spot, essentially, for all of this, when he alleges that all he wanted to do was come out and tell the truth. I want to read part of his statement and what he's saying now. He says, this situation has been very hard on Robert. This is from his attorney. He says he thought Campbell's would be thankful that he reported Martin's behavior, but instead he was abruptly fired. We look forward to obtaining justice for Robert. So as this lawsuit plays out in court, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Oh my gosh.
Campbell has not verified the audio.
Rob, come on, buddy. You knew Campbell's would not be happy about this. Man, these lawyer games are hilarious sometimes. He thought they would be happy about it. Okay. Right, buddy.
We have not been able to verify the audio, but again, those allegations are really alarming, Hallie.
Honestly, all this really does is just confirm a lot of stuff I've kind of just already thought over the years about, not necessarily just Campbell's, like just like take Campbell's out of the equation, just kind of like those canned food companies. Um, I don't honestly, I don't think this is like a Campbell's situation. I think this is like a canned food situation. I think this is like an American food situation. Like, I don't think that Campbell's is the only one doing this. I just think that Campbell's is the first one being exposed for doing this. I don't think that they're the only one doing this, but the whistleblower and the VP dude, I'm glad that they let him go. If this dude was having some crazy comments about some of the demographics of people that work there, that's super messed up. The fact that he is a VP and he feels this way and he said this to someone, yeah, get him out of there. But I do think that he's telling the truth about the food. I but I do think that this is probably, unfortunately, a lot more common than we realized. And I think over the years, I think we'll find out a lot more about the food and the ingredients that are like in some of the common things that we've been eating for a long time. So, but yeah, that's how I feel about this. What do y'all feel about this? Do y'all think that like that the food and the soup and everything is real, or do y'all believe that it's 3D printed? I lean on the fact that it probably is more 3D printed, and I don't think that it's real food. But how do y'all feel about this? Drop a like and a comment below. Let's have a conversation like we always do. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.